Hello there. This is Major Gregory H. Arabian. I'm the Oral History Director of Post 41 AmVets, which is the Corporal Paul S. Marsubian Post. I'm a major in the United States Air Force, honorably discharged. And I'm a member of Post 41. And today, which is Tuesday, October 21, in the year 2003, we are taking the oral history of one of the veterans of our post, Peter Felegian, who served in the United States Marine Corps. The purpose of the Oral History Project is to provide information, advice, and mostly inspiration to those who follow. The lessons of all of our previous wars prove that history proves that freedom is not free. Freedom has a price, and that price is sacrifice. Sacrifice of time, of effort, of career, and even of life. And the Oral History Project is meant to exemplify the sacrifices made by our veterans in the name of not only the security of the United States of America, but the paying the price for the freedoms we enjoy. So what I'm going to do, is that all right with you, Peter?
That's fine.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take the oral history of Sergeant Peter Felegian, honorably discharged from the United States Marine Corps, and we're going to do a free-ranging conversation of his reminiscences, those things that he recalls of his history with the Marine Corps. 13 million servicemen who are now veterans number amongst our population these days. We are losing, at the present rate, about 1,500 a year. So it's important, and Congress has seen that it's important to gather the memories and the history of veterans who have gone before, and they have charged the Library of Congress to encourage and inspire others to take this oral history and record it with the Library of Congress. And Peter, we have had you sign a release which allows us to share this information with public agencies, with the Post, with the Watertown Public Library, and we will be giving you a tape of your interview after we get through. So I'm going to leave the picture here for a second and zoom in on Peter and ask him certain questions which will bring out the oral history of his experiences in the service.
Now you're on record.
We're all set. Okay, Peter, tell me, where were you born and brought up, Peter?
Boston, Mass.
Really? And you go to the Boston Public Schools?
I did. I went to the High School of Commerce.
Mm-hmm. And what skills did you learn there?
Commercial accounting and et cetera.
All right. And you graduated from high school?
Yes, I did.
And when was that?
1943.
43. Mm-hmm. And do you recall Pearl Harbor?
Yes, I do.
How did you feel about that?
I thought it was an act that shouldn't have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I waited to be called in a draft.
Okay. So, were you drafted or did you enlist in the service?
I enlisted, but I was drafted. In
I
other
see.
words, my number came up,
Uh-huh.
and I wanted to get into the Marine Corps,
Uh-huh.
so I enlisted.
Is there any reason why you wanted to get into the Marines rather than serve in the Army?
Well, at the time, I thought I wanted to get the best training that I could possibly get
Right.
to protect myself.
And you felt the Marines would do the best job there?
Yes.
Okay. And how did your parents feel about your enlisting?
Sad, but happy that I was going to fight for my country.
Did they try to dissuade you from enlisting?
No.
They knew that you had to go. Okay. And where did your parents come from, by the way?
Israel.
Erzurum. Right. That's one of the largest cities in Armenia.
Right.
Right. And they're married in, were they married in the old country or come to the United States?
No, they were married here in the
They're married in the States. They met each other, married here.
Yes.
Okay. And what did your father do for a living?
He ran a confectionery store,
Uh-huh.
and later on, he opened a bar room or tavern and conducted business that way.
And that was in Boston?
In Dorchester.
In
yes.
Dorchester. I see. And did you help him with the business?
I did when I became of age, when I was 21.
Oh, yeah. Especially when he was running the bar room.
The bar room, yes.
Right, right. So you enlisted in the Marines from Boston, and where was your first station? Where'd you go?
Paris Islands, where we went to get training.
Is that where you got inducted?
Yes.
Okay. And tell me something about Paris Island. What's it like?
Well, it's a deserted little island. Not too much happening there except for men coming and going, learning how to protect themselves and how to shoot a rifle and how to how to obey a superior officer.
Uh-huh. And did you think the training was pretty tough?
It was good and tough, but you were able to take it. You made up your mind you're going to do it.
Uh-huh. And the training that you received at Paris Island, was that had to do with small arms?
Rifles, small arms,
What kind of rifle?
an M1.
M1. How did you find that rifle?
Very good. I
And
thought it was very good.
yeah, you liked to use it.
Yes, I did.
And from what I understand, you also achieved the rank of a sharpshooter.
Yes, I did.
And how did you get along with the other people that you were training with?
Very well.
And how were the conditions there?
They weren't the best in the world, but we got by. When you made up your mind you're going to get by, you did.
And describe the conditions for me. Were they tents or were they barracks, wooden or tents? Or what?
There were, I got to go way back.
That's okay. Whatever you remember.
I think there were barracks. I'm not quite sure.
Wooden barracks
Yes, wooden barracks.
and two to a bunk.
Yes, two to a bunk.
Okay,
You either slept in the lower bunk or the higher bunk.
okay. Was there any horsing around?
No,
You had regular inspections?
we had inspections, right, almost every day.
All right. Other than using your rifle, what other arms did you use?
Pistol.
Is that a 45?
That's for, yeah, and just the rifle, that's about it.
How about the bayonet?
No, we didn't have too much bayonet practice.
You didn't?
We knew that it went on the end of the rifle and you connected it on when it was necessary, and that's the only time I used it.
Have you ever used bayonets in the act? Did you later on use your bayonet in later service? It was always the rifle,
Right.
okay? Any other arms that you were trained to use? Grenades,
Grenades and pistols, that's about it.
but that was about it, okay? And how long was your service at Paris Island, Peter?
About 6 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I can't remember.
And when you graduated, that was your boot training, right?
Boot training, right.
And when you graduated from Parris Island, what rank were you given?
Private first class.
That's a single chevron?
Right.
And do you remember your instructors?
No, I don't.
Did you have one instructor throughout, or did you have different
We
instructors?
had one major instructor and then various other instructors on how to march, how to drill, how to use a rifle.
But they were all under the command of that
Command of
major,
that
that
one
major
major.
instructor.
Right.
I think these days they call him a TI, but
I
I'm
don't know
not
what they
sure.
call 'em.
Okay. Now, you served in World War II, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And after you graduated from Parris Island, where did you go?
Parris Island, we went to New Caledonia, North Carolina, for advanced training, and then from there to San Diego to get shipped overseas.
Tell us, how long was your advanced training in New Caledonia?
I think it's around, advanced training was, let's see, for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
And what did your advanced training consist of?
How to use a rifle, how to protect yourself.
Defensive measures? As
Correct.
well as offensive measures?
Right.
Okay. So you went from basic to advanced, but you were using the same weapons?
Same method, right.
Same weapons, okay. So from there, you went to California?
Right.
Was that by air or by train, or?
No, we went by train. Took us 3 days, I think, to get there.
All right. Did you correspond with your family all during this time?
No.
You didn't? Okay. Were you able to call them?
I was able to, but I never had a time to do it.
I see,
We're
I see.
too involved with everything else
I see. Did you find training difficult
at first.
at first?
But then you get used to the measurements and the training and everybody in your company, and you knew how well you did just by doing, your normal things that they ask you to do.
So your conclusion that by being in the service, you would be better trained to be not only a better soldier, but you'd be better able to defend yourself.
Correct.
That came true, didn't it?
That's
Okay. Now, from New Caledonia, you went to California briefly? And
I
from
went from North Carolina to California, and we stayed there probably a couple of weeks, and then we shipped overseas.
What were you doing in California?
Training, advanced training
Where's that?
at New River, no, at, what,
San Diego?
yeah, it was in San Diego,
Was it in the southern part of California?
yes.
Okay. Was that in the desert, or was it?
No, it wasn't in the desert.
No.
It was on the outskirts of a town.
Were you given the opportunity to go into town? Have leaves?
No,
No?
no,
Straight training?
straight training, that's right.
Okay. And from there, where did you go?
From there, we got onto the ship and went to New Caledonia.
You went from New Caledonia to California?
No, from California,
Yeah.
we shipped to go overseas.
Okay. And then where did you go?
And from there, I went to Guadalcanal,
Okay, from California, you went to New Caledonia?
New Caledonia.
Okay, now where is New Caledonia? Is that around New Guinea or someplace?
It's a separate island by itself. I think it's off the coast of New Guinea, in
Okay,
that area.
all right. More training there?
More training, advanced training.
Is New Caledonia a jungle environment there?
Not really. It was pretty well cleared up, and you knew you were overseas, but
Yeah,
you could buy easy
yeah. And how did you get to New Caledonia?
by boat.
Was
Took
it a-
us 3-4 days to get out there.
And how are the conditions aboard the boat?
Well, the only thing that I really didn't like was the sleeping quarters, where there were 6 people in
Hammocks?
in hammocks, and
About a foot apart?
about a foot, just about when you can breathe.
Right.
When you find one on top of the other,
Yeah.
and you're in the middle,
You felt kind of confined.
right.
And of course, you weren't as heavy as you are later on, but
Oh, no.
you're much lighter then.
Oh, of course.
How heavy were you at the time?
I think I was about 170, 175.
Oh, that's a pretty good weight. And did you find yourself wanting to sleep on deck rather than in the hammocks?
I slept on deck a lot, a lot of the days when we were traveling,
Yeah.
to go to the southern part of the cities.
And did you develop sea legs or did you get seasick?
No, I didn't get seasick at all.
No?
Not
So-
unless, because when I went out topside, I sat up, my back was against the wall, and I just looked over the horizon. And when you do that, you don't see the land going up and down as much. You just see a little bit of it.
So you never had any problems with seasickness?
No,
And how about the food aboard ship?
palatable.
It was passable. Okay, all right. So by joining the Marines, on the one hand, you learn how to defend yourself, but on the other hand, you had to develop some sea legs because you knew you were going to be on the ship.
Correct.
Okay. So from New Caledonia, you were shipped out to Guadalcanal.
Guadalcanal.
Was that with a unit that you recall? Were you shipped out as a unit?
No. No, we were individualized, going to different areas in the South Pacific.
Okay. Now,
Fill-ins, like we were filling in.
you're filling in where other people had left spaces.
Right.
Okay. Tell us how you felt going to Guadalcanal. Were you told about what you would meet there, what you would be doing?
No, we weren't told anything except to be prepared to protect yourself.
Were you given any instructions or information as to how the Japanese would be treating you when you got there? When you say how to protect yourself, did they describe how the Japanese would be?
Not
Attacking
really,
you.
because,
You really didn't know?
well, you didn't know.
Yeah. Okay. So, when you got to Guadalcanal, tell me what you saw. Tell me exactly what you saw there, as much as you can recall.
Well, most of the fighting was on the shore, was gone in the canal, further going north when we landed, and it was just being assigned to some location where you're going to go to with a group.
So you were not in the first wave?
No.
You were there sometime after the first wave had gone
After the
in?
first wave, right.
Any idea as to how long after the first wave you arrived there? Was it a week? Was it a day? Was it
No, it wasn't a week. It was probably a couple of days.
a couple days after the first wave?
Yeah.
Okay. So you did experience combat?
As much as you wanted to.
Right.
I didn't do no hand-to-hand combating. It was mostly protecting yourself from the planes that used to come over and bomb us every day, every night. They'd come over from Japan and bomb us.
So the Japanese did have some air superiority there?
Oh, yeah,
And
definitely.
how did our planes fare with theirs?
Very well.
You also had air cover?
We had an airstrip near us, but they were always taking off and coming in and protecting the various areas of the island.
And was that airstrip called Henderson Field?
Hickam, I think it was called.
Hickam is in Pearl Harbor.
No, that's Pearl Harbor.
Henderson Field, I think.
It could be Henderson, yeah.
Henderson Field. Did you have any duties with regard to defending Henderson Field against the Japanese?
No,
Okay.
no.
Now, when you landed on Guadalcanal, could you tell us what kind of what kind of landing craft you used to land at
It was
Guadalcanal?
the smaller craft that would take us to shore.
Would that be the Higgins boats?
LCDs,
LST?
LSTs. Or
LSTs?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, LST is pretty large, but,
Well, it took quite a bit of guys
Yeah.
in there.
so this wasn't one of those boats that the front would just drop and then you'd run into the surf?
No.
These are the larger craft?
Right.
Okay. So it unloaded not only personnel, but also equipment,
Equipment, right.
tanks and jeeps, and
Yes.
artillery. Okay, so you went in with that, okay? And as you went on the beach, where were you directed?
Well, you go into the beach and you go into the first foxhole you found and just stayed there until further orders.
Okay. And then after that?
After that, you advanced into the jungles.
Okay. Was there a time that you set up camp anywhere at Guadalcanal?
Yeah, they set camp up, it was on the beach, they had the camp, I think. When we first went in, then as we advanced and went in deeper, then we set up camp further in.
Okay. And was there sniper fire there?
I don't recall sniper fire.
Describe for me the type of jungle that you were fighting in there.
Well, it was very dense. You couldn't see too far in advance.
Uh-huh.
It was pretty dense when you were going
Okay.
into the jungle, and you just followed the footpath of the soldiers that went in previously to you.
Right. Okay. And tell us something about the temperatures there. Was it hot? Was it
The
cold?
temperature was very warm.
Humidity?
Humidity was high, and if you had a good night's sleep, it'd be a miracle.
Really?
You just couldn't sleep that night that well.
Okay. How about the problem with any insects or anything like that?
Well, we used to have a netting over our bunks
Uh-huh.
that would keep the insects and flies away.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we always were shot with marijuana, so we wouldn't get marijuana.
You were shot with marijuana?
No, injected.
Injected with marijuana?
No, not marijuana. Injected with
Anti-malaria?
anti-malaria, right.
Malaria venom? So you never got malaria?
I did, but it was on a small
Yeah.
case that
Yeah.
I got over fast.
So the injections did help?
Yes.
Okay. So how far did you advance into Guadalcanal?
We set up camp as we went in, and there was a group ahead of us fighting, and they captured Hickam Field,
Henderson Field,
Henderson.
yeah. Hickam is Pearl Harbor. Henderson is Guadalcanal, right?
Right.
Okay. So they
I
captured
know it
Henderson
started with
Field.
an H.
That's okay. So they captured Henderson Field.
Right.
Okay. And did you advance to Henderson Field?
We did.
Uh-huh.
We set up our camp there and continued as we went north, further north. Every day, we would go so far and make camp again.
So you steadily moved. You never stayed in one place?
No, right.
Okay. What was the limit of your advance into Guadalcanal? How far in did you go until you finally stopped?
Once we got the Hickam Field, once we got the airport,
Yeah,
that's where we stayed.
That's where
I
you
guess.
stopped?
Yeah.
okay. But you say that you were subjected to bombing attacks by the
Every
Japanese?
day, every night.
Really? What kind of weapons, what kind of ordnance did they use?
What, Japs?
Yeah, Regular 500-pound bombs?
I don't know how big the bombs were, but we used to be warned that they were coming by the
Yeah.
sirens,
Uh-huh.
and we used to just jump in a foxhole and stay there.
So they got your attention?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got your attention. And you say that we also had air support at Guadalcanal.
We did.
What kind of aircraft did we
It
use?
was the, I think what they call it, the Mustang.
The Mustang,
Yeah, there was one of the,
P-51,
yeah, the P-51s were there.
Corsair, Gullwing,
I really don't know,
yeah,
but I know we had, once we got Hickam Field,
Henderson Field,
Henderson Field,
yeah. Once you got Henderson Field, it was okay.
yeah, then
Yeah.
they started to really come in.
And did we have any aircraft that were larger than fighter aircraft there? Bombers, transports, or anything? Or cargo planes, that they bring in supplies into
Yeah,
the
they
field?
had cargo planes and I don't know if we had any bombers there or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Okay. Now, with regard to your going forward into Guadalcanal, is there anything significant about your battle plan that they tell you what they wanted you to do, other than just go forward with
No,
your rifle?
just go in and continue going forward until we captured or took over a certain area.
Okay. So it was one area after another?
Correct.
Okay. And when you finally found a place to set up camp, which would be Henderson Field, can you tell us what your conditions were there? They were better than the jungle, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, you had a flat surface you can put your tent up in, and your cot wouldn't be tilted to one side. It was much better.
Okay. And how about the food?
You
The food
used
get
to-
better?
You get used to the food. We had sea rations most of the time.
Okay. And did you feel that you had plenty of supplies at that time?
What kind of supplies?
Ammunition,
Oh, yeah,
clothing,
Definitely.
food.
Plenty,
So you
yeah.
weren't hurting for any supplies?
right.
Okay. Now, you say that the Japanese were bombing you on a regular basis. Did you feel any particular pressure or stress from that kind of attack?
You never thought about it that way.
You just did
All
what you
you
had to.
heard was when the sirens went off, they were coming over, you just jumped in your foxhole and
How easy was it to dig a foxhole over there?
it wasn't hard.
You
You did
You
did
did
it
it
when you
because
had
you-
to do it.
Okay. And how deep did your foxholes
Just
average?
enough to cover your body.
Cover your body?
Yeah, your height of your body, that's all you wanted to cover.
Okay. And did you feel that that was sufficient?
It wasn't sufficient, but that was the best we could do at the time.
Okay. Was any time you heard these sirens going, or knew that the bombers were coming, did you do anything to shore yourself up and get prepared for it, or did you have a good luck charm or something like that
No,
you
you
did?
just grabbed your helmet and ran. Ran to the nearest shelter.
And you always had your helmet and your rifle by you?
Correct.
And you regularly cleaned your rifle on a daily
Every
basis?
day. Every day.
Did you have to be inspected for that, or?
We were inspected probably once a week. I'm not quite sure the
Okay.
time limitation, but we were inspected for our rifles
Yeah.
to make sure they were well.
And you were able to clean your rifles pretty fast. You knew how to do it in the dark, blindfolded and
Right,
so forth?
because you had a rod and they had a tape on the end of it, and you just went into the barrel and they would oil it and bring it out.
Uh-huh, okay. Did you keep a personal diary while you were at the canal? while you were in the service?
I kept it, but I don't know where it is now.
Okay. Well, we'll try and find
I
it.
know, I wrote,
You
I
wrote
used to write every night what happened during.
Really?
I mean, every day what happened during the night.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to ask you to see if you can locate that diary.
I'm gonna try.
That would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. What did you think of your officers while you were in combat there?
They were well-trained
You had complete confidence in them?
and, yeah. You took no lip. You just did what they asked.
They took no lip from you. And so far as your fellow soldiers, so far as your fellow Marines are concerned, you depended upon each other.
Correct.
All right. Now, can you tell us, when you landed on Guadalcanal, were you, were you individuals, or were you assigned to a separate unit?
When we landed on the island, we weren't individuals. We were with a group,
You were the unit.
unit, right?
Okay.
Our unit, we joined up with our units and we stayed until further orders.
And how many people were in your unit?
I really
Was it in
don't-
the hundreds or the thousands, or
No, it wasn't in the thousands, probably in the hundreds.
in the hundreds? Okay. Did you have the Army fighting alongside you? Did you know about?
I don't know about the Army. I know we were with the Air Corps. There was an Air Corps airfield.
Yeah,
We
at
used to-
Henderson.
Yeah,
But you don't recall seeing any Army personnel there?
no,
So you were probably on the advanced Marine
could be.
unit that took
Yeah,
the
could be.
island, okay? So that's a very prestigious position, although it's very dangerous, isn't it? Yeah.
Lucky.
Right. How did you fear injury or death while you were in the canal?
Now the light is on.
Now the light is on. Now, I think I was asking you how you felt about your conditions in Guadalcanal and the dangers which you faced there. And you were telling us that at 18 years old, you really don't think of danger as much as you are when you're as old as you and I are.
Correct.
Isn't that right?
Correct.
So you just did your job as you were told,
Right.
and you found that your training was adequate to meet whatever challenge it was.
Well, you got more training being there
Yeah,
than being at boot training.
yes.
The actual training was much better
The on-the-job training.
on the job.
On-the-job training, you're trying to
Right.
think of on-the-job. Of course, there was a bigger incentive on the job to
Stay alive.
dodge the bullets and dodge
Right.
the bombs and to stay alive. Okay, so not only were you in a defensive posture to stay alive, but you were also in a posture to go and kill the enemy. All right. Now, how long were you in the Guadalcanal?
I was 28 months overseas.
28 months.
Yeah.
And of those 28 months, any idea as to how long you were at Guadalcanal?
Let's see. Maybe 6 months.
You were 6 months fighting in there?
You know, as much as I can remember.
Yeah, that's a long,
But
yeah.
I had more time in, not in Guadalcanal, but in Okinawa than I did,
Oh, I see.
you know.
So, after Guadalcanal, you ended your service there and went to Okinawa?
I went to, let's see. Guadalcanal, Okinawa, yeah.
Okinawa? Okay. Did they tell you anything about Okinawa?
Just protect yourself.
Same thing. But you were a little bit more experienced at that time, weren't you?
Yeah, you dug your own foxhole deeper.
And you were, as I say, you knew what the enemy was like, and you knew what dangers that you were
Right.
going to face. Now, how did you get from Guadalcanal to Okinawa? By ship again?
By boat, yeah.
Yeah. And how long a trip was it? Any idea?
About a week.
A week? A
I
little
would
bit of a
think
trip?
so.
Yeah, yeah. And when you were aboard ship, they treat you well? Or was it still the same cramped quarters?
Yeah, very cramped. We were, I think, 6 or 8 hammocks high,
Uh-huh.
and
The food was not,
food wasn't, food was food, just to keep you alive.
okay.
And the only thing I remember is I used to be in the middle of the hammock, and the guy on top of me was, his
What?
body shape was almost right into my nose.
Uh-huh.
He had no room to breathe in.
To move, yeah. All right. And when you got to, and you probably spent most of the time on deck, sleeping
I
on deck?
slept always on deck.
Really?
Right.
Really? And was that the condition that most of the other troops,
Well,
sleep on deck, a lot of them?
The thing is that I felt cramped downstairs
Yeah.
where I was, and I just had to get up on top side, and I felt
Yeah.
like
Were there others like you that did that?
there was quite a few of us.
And there was nobody that ordered you back?
No.
Anything like that?
No,
Yeah, okay. So, anything special happen on the ship while you're going to Okinawa? Any training or games or entertainment or movies?
no movies, no entertainment. He just sat there with your rifle.
Really?
Oh yeah, and that was it.
You had
You
nothing?
looked on the ocean and
Just waited till you got to the next
waited
point?
until you got to the next spray.
Okay. So, did you develop any friendships amongst your fellow Marines?
Oh sure.
Do you hear from them these days?
No.
When was the last time you heard from a fellow Marine?
A lot of them got killed.
Yeah,
They went to different places,
I know, yeah.
and I haven't heard from them.
And when you heard that they had been killed, did that pretty much hit you pretty bad? Yeah. Okay. When you got to Okinawa, how did you land there? Was there still a combat situation there?
Yeah, there were. The combat situation was from the beach. They were going north, and we landed on the beach, and we set up our headquarters on the beach, and kept advancing every day, further and further as we could.
Did you land by LST again?
Yeah,
Same kind of ships?
right.
Okay. So when you got out of the ship, did you go into the water, or did you go directly onto the beach?
Part of it was in the water,
Uh-huh.
and part then up to your legs probably,
Yeah,
and you just
and you were able to get,
get right in.
okay. How were you equipped, your uniforms and your equipment, your clothing?
Fatigues.
It was
We're all fatigues, right?
So, no unusual clothing that you had?
No.
And you had no body armor?
Body armor?
Yeah.
No.
No
Just a rifle.
bulletproof vests
No.
or anything? Just plain old fatigues? Okay, so you had no
Right.
protective clothing
Right.
that you're wearing? Okay. And you had your M1, and that
Yep.
was it?
That was it.
Okay. And how many, any idea how many rounds you were equipped with? Did you have bullet bandoliers, or?
We had off from our shoulders, right around, we had a bandolier of bullets, and that's about it.
That's about it. Okay. So, you landed on the beach. Did you encounter any resistance?
No,
No?
because the fighting was a little further in the island than it was on the beach at the time.
Can you describe the fighting with us as to how it differed from Guadalcanal? Was it still jungles there, or?
No, it was more open.
It was?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. A drier climate?
Yeah, it was drier. It was a
Okay.
nice climate.
Uh-huh. And how far in did you go before you encountered resistance?
From the beach, I don't know how far in we went. Not too far.
Not too far.
We all set up camp, and as they advanced, we advanced with them.
Okay. Now, we're told that the Japanese thought that we were monsters over there. Did we take any prisoners?
Did we take any?
Did you take any prisoners?
Very few.
Yeah. Were you able to gain any intelligence from them?
I don't know that. I have no idea.
Okay. And, but you, how many, any idea how many prisoners you were able to take?
Yeah,
Just
I-
went forward.
I have no idea.
Okay. And how far into Okinawa did you go?
Well, we went in until we captured the whole island. Every day, we just progressed a little further and further.
And this was the same, was this the same unit that you worked with at Guadalcanal?
No,
You were just transferred from one unit to the other?
right.
And you were-
Replacements.
I see. You replaced,
Replacement battalion we were in.
okay,
And as they needed so many people, they shipped us to wherever we were supposed to go.
okay. We are still under bombardment by the Japanese Air Force?
Every night.
Really? And, but you did have air cover?
Yeah, we got the field, we got the Hickam Field, I think it was. Hickam, no, was it Hickam?
Henderson Field was Guadalcanal,
No.
but there
yeah.
was a field on Okinawa, I forget
Right.
the name of it, yeah, okay,
Once we get that field,
yeah,
then we were all right, but every night, we had an air raid, because they used to fly over from Japan to Okinawa, which wasn't too far away.
yeah. Oh, they weren't flying off the field at Okinawa?
Yeah. Who, the Japs?
Yeah,
No, no, no.
Yeah,
No,
they're
they
from
were
Japan.
coming from their own,
from the home island.
from the home island, because we had taken the airfield in Okinawa.
Before you took the airfield, did you have aircraft carriers in your group there? Did you recall?
There was a lot of ships. I think there might have been aircraft carriers.
Mm-hmm. But you, did you have a construction battalion, a CB unit,
We did,
that set the
That-
airfield in shape?
right, we did. There
Mm-hmm.
was a CB unit.
And did they use the temporary metal runways, or did they just,
Jeez,
Prepare.
I don't remember.
okay. So, once you took the airfield, that was it? And how long did it take you to take Okinawa?
How long it took?
Was it longer than Guadalcanal?
No, it was shorter.
It was short time?
Yeah.
Did
There
you,
wasn't that much resistance
there wasn't?
than Guadalcanal, you know.
Yeah. We've seen pictures of Japanese committing suicide, jumping off of cliffs and things like that. Did you encounter anything like that?
No.
Okay. And you were equipped with rifles, grenades, flamethrowers?
We had flamethrowers with us.
Flamethrowers? And did they utilize napalm?
Yeah. I don't really know.
Don't recall. Okay. Now, once you took the island at Okinawa, what happened after that?
Well, we set up camp right on the shore to protect any ships coming in.
Uh-huh.
You know, we had individual
You set up camp on the beach?
on the beach. And then, as the fighting progressed, we moved further in too.
Was there a danger that the Japanese might do a counterattack and try and take the island back?
Well, they used to come over every night
They did.
and bomb us.
Uh-huh. Was there a fear that you might be invaded again by the Japanese? Because you say you were defending the island.
Right. That might have been possible, but I didn't hear about anything like that.
Okay.
We had a specific duty to hold the beach.
To hold the beach. Okay. Did you see the Army come to you later on? Did they support you later on? Did you ever see the Army coming in?
I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Any particular problem with holding the beach?
Once we landed on the beach, I don't think so. I think we advanced pretty well beyond that.
Were there any problems with landmines?
There was a lot of landmines.
How did you deal with the landmines?
They used to have dogs.
Uh-huh.
They used to go and sniff them out.
Really? And once they did that, you had personnel
Then,
to...
right, there would be
Take 'em out.
people would go and send them off or dig them up or whatever they did
Yeah.
to get rid of them.
Incidentally, did you have any problem with landmines at Guadalcanal? In the jungle?
No,
No.
not that I know of.
It was more in Okinawa.
There was a lot in Okinawa.
Okay. Okay, so, how long before you left Okinawa? Or was there a time that you left Okinawa? Let's put it that way.
When the war was over,
Would that be in August of '45 when they dropped the atom bomb?
August, let's see, when did I come home? I can't remember when I came home, in September,
December,
December,
right.
August, yeah. They dropped the bomb, and then, you're right, a couple months later.
How did you learn that they dropped the atom bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki?
We used to have a radio outfit with us.
Uh-huh.
And we used to go and listen to the pilots, talking back and forth to the command post.
Really? All right. Did you see B-29s going overhead towards Japan?
B-29s,
Or did you see American aircraft heading towards the home islands over you?
yeah.
Yeah. Did you encounter any aircraft coming back towards Okinawa that were in trouble and hadn't land? Nothing like that?
Never saw any.
Uh-huh. So, when you heard the atom bomb was dropped, how did you feel about that? Or what did you feel?
Well, after they dropped the bomb and we heard there were so many casualties,
Yeah.
we felt like the war was going to be over.
Yeah. And were you happy that it was? Were you sure that the war was going to, this
Right.
was it? This
Right.
was it? Okay. And how long after that did you leave?
Let's see, the war,
Because we have your service dates as
what
December.
date was the Okinawa secured?
You don't know when you secured Okinawa. I'm not sure
I
what
think it was
that
about
one.
6 months after
Uh-huh.
that I got on the boat to come home.
Okay. Was there any surrender ceremonies aboard on Okinawa?
No,
You didn't attend any, and
No.
when they dropped the bomb, how did the word get to the Japanese troops in Okinawa that they had surrendered? They have radios too, I suppose.
oh yeah, we used to listen to the radio back and forth from the pilots and it's the command post, and they'd say to report whatever the difficulty was, and they used to report it. We used to hear all that.
And following the Japanese surrender in August of 1945, was there some way that your unit communicated with the Japanese on Okinawa
No,
to give up the ghost?
no.
You
I
didn't
think
do
they
that?
might have dropped leaflets
Yeah.
that the
Okay.
war was over. I don't know.
Okay. And so, a time came that you left Okinawa.
Yep,
How did you feel about that?
wonderful.
Okay. And how did you leave?
My boat.
What boat?
Yeah.
LST again?
No, no, it was a big boat. They took us from the island, not too far out to get on a bigger ship.
Like a battleship or
No.
cruiser?
Big boat.
Okay. All
It
right.
wasn't a battleship or anything, it was a freighter, more or less like a freighter,
A freighter.
you know, that holds a lot of people.
And I take it the conditions there were just as tight.
Uh,
Really? How long did it take you to get from Okinawa to where you were going?
About 2 weeks, maybe.
They take you directly to the West Coast or to,
Yeah, to the West Coast,
uh-huh.
right.
And you're in pretty tough conditions there, I suppose.
Well, you knew you were going home.
And that buoyed you up. Yeah, and everybody was pretty happy about that. Did you think about what you were going to do when you got home?
No,
And where did you debark? Where did they bring you to the West Coast?
let's see. From the West Coast, they shipped us to North Carolina again,
Uh-huh.
you know, from our original point. And then from there, we came back to Boston.
And where in Boston, Julian?
Where what?
Where in Boston did you end up?
God, I don't know. I don't
Okay.
remember.
Did you call your parents when you got home?
Yeah,
Call your
once
folks?
we got in, we did.
They were happy to hear from you. Okay. And did you still have trouble, difficulty corresponding with them while you were at Guadalcanal and Okinawa and all that?
The only thing you could correspond with was mail,
Was email?
and you don't know how long it took for them to get a letter,
Yeah.
or for me to receive a letter. I don't remember.
When you saw them later on, did they complain that they didn't hear from you, or they didn't get the mail or anything like that?
Not really.
No, okay,
They were just happy to see me.
okay. And I'm sure you were happy to see them. Now, when you came home, there was a period of, civilian life that you entered, is that correct? When you got out of the service?
Oh, when I got out of the service?
Yeah. That was in December of
45.
45, yeah. What did you do after you unwound, so to speak? That was just before Christmas, wasn't it?
Right,
And that was a nice Christmas you had? Spend it at home?
right.
Okay. And were you married at this time?
No,
Okay. And what did you do after you unwound, so to speak? How did you enter civilian life? Did you use the GI Bill?
I went back to the arsenal, go back to work again, because they had to rehire you
You
at
went to
that
the,
time.
you went to the Watertown Arsenal?
Yeah.
What did you do over there?
I was a, what do they call them? I used to be a runner. I used to, any problems, I used to run and get the people to come back and fix it.
No, like a messenger?
More or less. I
Yeah.
don't know if they call it a messenger or not.
But were you hired at the Watertown Arsenal before you went into the service?
Yes,
Okay, so when you came back, they had to
they
rehire
had
you.
to rehire me, right.
Did you find that your military history helped you get a job there? Did you find that your military history
Help me get a job here?
helped, yeah, at the Arsenal?
I don't recall that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
You were just rehired?
They had to take me back, I know that.
They did? Okay.
They may not have put me in the same unit as I was when I left, but they had to hire me and put me to work.
And how long did you work there?
Till I went into my own business, I guess.
And what business was that?
Cleaning drapery business,
You do in the cleaning business?
yes,
Okay. And where was that?
in Watertown. Was it Watertown?
What was the name of the business?
Tip Top Cleaners and Drapery Service.
Uh-huh. And how long, and why did you leave the security of the Watertown Arsenal to go into your own business?
I think it was because I was at an dead end. I couldn't go any further in wages or in better job or whatever. So I just left.
Okay. Did you find that the GI Bill helped you at all?
The only thing that would help me is to go back to school. That's about it.
Did you go back to school?
I went nights.
Where?
BU, I only went for 2 years, and I
You went
had,
to 2 years to BU.
yeah, at night, a couple nights a week. It was too much.
And what did you study over there?
Business, I think it was,
Business training?
business administration.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you find that that helped you with your business later on?
Some aspects of it.
Okay. And so, have you, now, when did you join Post 41? Or what led you to join Post 41? Let's put it that way.
Well, I was a veteran, and I figured had my shop in Watertown. I figured I'd join.
Who invited you? Or who introduced you to the group? Any idea?
Geez, I've forgotten.
Any idea who the commander was at the time? Or where the post was located at the time? It was in Watertown, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was in Watertown.
Okay. And did you enjoy the camaraderie of the group?
The group, yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I could attend the meetings and stuff, because I used to work night and day at the shop to get the thing going.
Uh-huh. And were there some other Marines that you knew in the post that you enjoyed talking with?
I can't recall. I don't know.
For instance, Al Darien.
Oh, yeah.
You know Al Darien, he's
Yeah,
a
oh,
Marine.
yeah.
And you had discussed,
Oh,
Had
yeah, I
discussions
knew
with
Al
him.
anyways.
did you know Al before?
Oh, yeah, I knew Al before he went in the Marine Corps.
Really?
And then
Okay.
when I went in and I saw him,
You saw him in the Marines also?
oh, yeah.
Ah. And Harry Sarkeesian,
Harry, yeah.
did you see him in the service?
I don't think I saw Harry at all.
Yeah. Because both Al and Harry say that they were in Tarawa and Saipan,
Yeah, they were, right.
but I don't think you were in those engagements.
No, I wasn't in that unit.
Yeah,
see?
yeah.
I was in a different unit.
Okay. And did you enjoy your camaraderie with the other Army and Navy personnel that were in the post?
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Is there any question that I haven't asked that you'd like to comment on?
Not really.
Okay. If that's the case, what we're going to do here... Okay. Now, Peter, what do you have there in front of you?
My picture,
This is a picture of what you looked at when you were 18 years old?
18 years old.
All right. Well, let's take a shot of that, and we'll put that in front of the camera. And this is in your dress blues, huh?
Right.
You were 18 years old. Okay. And you have here a certificate of honorable and satisfactory service in World War II. And we're going to take a picture of that, if we can. And this is a certificate of honorable and satisfactory service in World War II, given to you from 11 February 1943 to, and dated December 5, 1945. All right? And the other thing I'm going to ask you to do is to identify this. What is that?
This is my uniform, my greens.
All right, and you have a patch there on the left?
Yes.
What patch is
and
that? Any idea what the patch identifies your unit
It
as?
says Fleet Marine Force Pacific.
And you are a sergeant, right? Okay. Very
Right.
good. Okay, Peter, if you have no further, if you have no further information to give us, I want to sign off this oral history.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you for your time. I know it's taken a lot out of you. It's taken a lot out of me, too. But we're doing this for the benefit of future generations. So this is Major Greg Arabian of Post 41, the Oral History Director, signing off on Tuesday, October 21. And Peter, I want to thank you for being part of the Oral History Project.
You're welcome.
Okay, and at this time, we'll just sign off.